I'm on the GoPro today because Studio Hermit Ed is excited. You know, yes sir, guess what I got? I got my desk done. Check this out, huh? Yeah! Woo, doggy. Yeah, we're ready to go now. Where my piano is, this is supposed to be a monitor desk, and this piano is gonna go in a drawer. That's what I'm making today. My 1996 Dodge Ram made it back from Lowe's. We made another trip. We got some wood to make our desk. Now all I need is the energy. That's hard to come by these days for an old man, you know? I got extra 2x4s. You can never have enough 2x4s. Top. And a drawer for my keyboard. Every successful project starts with a good plan. Measure twice, cut 3 times. 2 inches lower. Okay. $52.5 inside. That's what we're gonna make right there. Oh yeah. If I make it wrong, we'll burn it and start over. Now these are full extension drawer slides. That way I can pull that keyboard all the way out, and they take up 1 inch. I was privileged to be able to work with some real craftsmen, you know, ever since I was just a kid. And I was very lucky that they were willing to teach me. Yesterday, I decided after 15 years it was time for my old curtains to go, and my wife made me new ones. Check this out. Huh? Oh yeah. Don't those look nice? They made a big difference in the sound too. Yeah, really deadened down that reflection coming off the glass. Whenever a mechanic has a problem with a car, and he finally gets that check engine light to go out, you know, I mean, you know that famous Big Bang spoof that they do where Penny's check engine light's on her in her car and she puts electric tape over it so she can't see it and Shelton goes crazy? Well, I have had the electric tape over in my studio on the check engine light for a long time now. Ever since I brought home this giant board. By the way, it's been in here now for 2 months. Yep. So, yeah, look at this beast. So, you want to talk about studio wrecking? Bringing this giant beast in here, you know? So, ever since I brought this in here for 2 months, I feel like I've had that tape over the check engine light. And I finally got to pull it off. I feel like this weekend, getting this desk done here, I finally got to the point of where I can call it success. So I'm happy today. and I thought we would do just a real quick studio tour. I'll be back in a minute. Now, if you come to Ed's recording studio to record, first thing when you pull up is this beautiful view right there. Yeah, there's the pond. So right there. Can you see the pond? Yep. So bring your fishing pole when you come, okay? We'll go fishing. Maybe we'll catch a couple smallmouth bass in there. So let's go check it out. Not a lot has changed in the live room. Still pretty much the same. Drum set. Okay. We still got the artwork. 2 microphones in the bathroom. Every studio needs a bathroom. And if you want to see yourself, there you are. Hi, Ed. Okay. Then the next door over here, behind door number 2. Well, this here, oh, don't look in there. That's the junk room. Yep, that's all my junk. Oh, yeah. The air conditioner, and I got all my Macs in here. Now, the brains behind my operation is this Mac Mini Pro. It has 16 gig of RAM in it, and it's the brains. Sometimes I'll pull out my G5 and use it, a 1,1 computer, and a 3,1 computer, and there's a 5,1 computer in the back room. This is what's on the other side. I'm working on my plate reverb. I had a lot of suggestions from y'all. Thank you for the suggestions. And I'm going to tear my plate reverb apart, and I'm going to change a couple things. It's going to keep sounding better and better, honest. Yep, I mean, I got it done, but it's not. You know, it sounds a little harsh. Yeah. So all your suggestions have been fantastic. I'm going to put them all in a future episode, but I'm going to tear my plate reverb apart and redo it again. So that's the live room. Yep, right there. And when we come into my control room, the first thing you see is my guitar wall. Right here. Yep. We've got a mandolin, and of course, every studio gotta have, I got a bunch of those. We got a Gretsch, we got a PRS, we got a Taylor, a Fender Strat, a Fender Jazz Bass, a banjo, and a dulcimer. Then we've got my amplifiers, my little collection. I got a Fender Blues Junior, and this is kind of homemade. I got it homemade every way but Sunday, and a micro cube, and a pig nose for that little Skinnered sound, and of course everything's always mic'd with a 57, my favorite microphone. For the lead vocals, I've got over here a Neumann M147. I love that microphone. If that don't work, Shure KSM32 will do the job. This is my utility microphone I use for almost, if I'm in a hurry and I gotta throw up a mic quick, that's the one I grab. Then there's the star of today. Yes, sirree. Oh, my new desk. I'm so happy to have this done. A new desk and a new rack. Now I can sit here and I can see the band playing between that window and that window. Lead singer there. And I got my keyboard right here. This is an SO8. I could just pull it out, add parts, whatever. Everything's handy now for me. Close by right here, everything is just, I can flip around here and everything is right here, practically at my fingertips, as close as it can be, with this giant elephant sitting in my room. Okay, let's start over here in this rack. For overdubs, these are my preamps and whatnot. Growing very fond of this SSL 6 channel. I've got 2 of those. Harrison 32 EQ and 500 series. These go down into these 2 channels. Cush going into a 560A DBX compressor. This is a Cush Electra. It's famous for its sound, and as it should be. This is in the insert of channel 1 down here of my Focusrite ISA 428. This is a poor man's Neve, 4 channels of it, and it works real good for me. And then down here, this is a DBX preamp. It's a 386. It has 2 channels, and they go into tubes. Then on down here, we've got the Roland 5050. keyboard module in a rack. S4 Quadrasynth made by Alesis. And then I have a Alesis DM Pro down here. All that stuff is available in the box to me now through Logic. So I don't need the sound modules, but sometimes I just want to use the real stuff. So Studio Hermit Ed's happy with his desk. Okay, then we move over here. Y'all are familiar with this Giant Analog mixing board. This side is used for tracking. This side is used for mixing. This is the master section. I've got 8 matrices, 8 groups, 8 VCA faders, and then the stereo channel. I do a lot of mixing background tracks for churches, and a lot of bands use them for clubs. That's the reason for the 15 in the horn. And then the poke, those are tied into my Marantz down here. My main monitors are those JBLs right there and there. And that brings us to the stereo master fader. Now that would be these guys right here, okay? And inserted in the stereo master fader. Let's start over here with the 500 series. The first thing in my master fader is the ultraviolet SSL equalizer. It kind of smooths things out, and it goes from there into the TK BC501. And I like to add just a little bit. This is an SSL copy, clone, if you will. And that's a little bit of compression. And then it goes from there, my master bus goes down into the 747. I mix in my mixing board and I go back into Logic with 2 channels. And I can make those 2 channels right where I need them, you know, gain wise, by this knob and this knob. And that's my master stereo bus. And in my groups, I have compressors. These 2 compressors up here, these are DBX 560As, but sometimes you need a hammer and sometimes you need a feather. Whichever one I need, I got it right here, okay? And these DBX compressors, I love these guys on channels. These 2 DBX compressors are in group 1 and 2. Now I can send anything while I'm tracking or while I'm mixing to these groups. That's why I've got my compressors tied in there. Those are in group 1 and 2. Then in group 4 right now, I've got the Bluey. Okay, so I could just reach up here and add more Bluey or take it away or run the whole track while I'm tracking through the Bluey. All I got to do is run one of the channels through group 4 and it's going through the Bluey. Okay, down in the bottom of this rack, I've got 2 Virtualizer Pros, and they get used while I'm tracking if I need reverb. This 1066, that it's just a compressor, doesn't get used a lot, but it's going through group 5 and 6. These compressors are Behringer. There's 4 channels, compressor limiter, gate. I don't use them because they're Behringer. Not very much. I've never even actually tried them. Someday I might. In a recording studio, we all need inspiration. So that's this right here. Okay. When I need inspired, I got a giant vinyl collection and I got a giant CD collection, and those go through the Marantz. And I can run them wherever I want to, whichever speaker pairs. Sometimes I'll just crank up all the speakers, every one of them. I have 3 different pairs back there, and sometimes I'll just crank up all 3 of them and listen to my vinyl, just because I can. Okay, I mentioned my vinyl collection and my CD collection. You can see here, top drawer CDs, bottom drawers vinyl. And you're probably asking yourself, when Ed comes down here at 4:30 in the morning, what vinyl does he like to listen to? And I'm going to tell you right now, okay? This is my go-to right here. Yeah. That's my go-to vinyl. Now, if I need to pick me up, yep, we'll go here. We all need inspiration, right? I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure and subscribe and hit some dingy dongies down there, okay? Because it helps the algorithm and it helps Studio Hermit Ed to feel better. It's unbelievable how much your comments have helped me in the past 2 months since I brought home this giant mixing board. So, hey, thank you so much. I'm going to sit here and stare at my giant mixing board for a while now, okay? Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
I spent most my childhood down upon my knees, moving dirt, making roads, planting little trees. I stole Daddy's charcoal for my blacktop roads, just a little at a time, so he'd never know, 'cause I'm the king of Tonkerville. Yeah, I'm the king of Tonkerville. Don't ever tell me this life I'm living ain't real.